तेजोमयीं नैष्ठिकीं स्निग्धापाङ्कविलोकिनीं भगवतीं मन्दस्मितश्रीमुखीं वात्सल्यामृतवर्षिणीं सुमधुरं सङ्कीर्तनालापिनीं श्यामाङ्गीं मधुसिक्तसूक्तिम् अमृतानन्दात्मिकाम् ईश्वरी शुक्लाम्बरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणे विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा.
Om Amriteshwariyai Namaha. Welcome to this week's Amritageetananda virtual satsang. The current topic which Amma has given us for discussion is Brahmavid, Brahmaiva, Bhavati. Today we have with us Puja Swami Amritageetananda Puri ji. Swami ji will enlighten on the topic how we can explain this to an atheist or a temple worshipper. Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om Dhyayamo Dhavala Vakunthanavatim Tejomayim Nishtikim Digdha Panga Vilokinim Bhagavatim Mantaspita Shri Mukim Valsalyamrita Varshinim Sumudram Sankirtanalapinim Shamangi Madsikta Suktim Amritanandatmikam Ishwarim Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha Om Ha Saraswataye Namaha Om. My infinite prostrations at the lotus feet of my Sadguru, Sri Mata Amritanandamayi Devi, Universal Teacher, Universal Mother, and my humble pranams to all Amma's beloved children. Today we will try to discuss this topic which Amma has given us. The topic Brahmavid, Brahmaiva, Bhavati. This mantra, this very famous mantra, this very deep mantra, how will you explain this mantra? Brahmavid, Brahmaiva, Bhavati means one who knows Brahman becomes Brahman. How will you explain this to a non-believer, an atheist, a simpleton, or a temple worshipper? Temple worshipper, they go only to temple. They think that God is only in the temples. So there are different categories of devotees. One who never believe in God, that is atheist, and we have a responsibility to make them also understand. So this is Brahmavid, Brahmaiva, Bhavati. The knower of Brahman becomes Brahman. This is actually Advaita Vedanta of Adi Shankaracharya. Then we have, if it is Ramanujacharya's Parampara, we have the Vishishta Advaita, and Madhavacharya Parampara, we have the Dvaita. In Adi Shankaracharya, he said that each jiva, every individual is like a drop of water. That drop of water drops into the ocean, it becomes one with the ocean. We are like drops of waters or pieces of ice, and Ishvara or Brahman is the vast infinite God. We completely merge into God and we completely lose our individuality. and we become Sachidananda Surupa. This is the meaning. So one important point let us first understand. When you say that, we call it moksha, mukti, salvation, liberation, etc. That most of the other scriptures, they say that mukti or liberation is going to heaven and living there permanently. In our scripture also, we say that there is the heaven, but heaven is not a permanent abode. We go there, and once the merits, the punya are exalted, we will come back. So the important point we have to understand is, if we say that liberation or moksha or freedom or salvation, it is not our nature, it is something which will come in the future. Now we are bound, and liberation will come in the future. There is a very serious problem. The serious problem is that if liberation or moksha is not our nature, and if it is something which comes to us in the future, then it is not permanent. If you see, you heat take fire, you keep a pot of water on the fire, and you put rice in that, and then you boil. You can see that the rice also, first the pot gets heated and the water gets heated and the rice gets heated, the rice gets boiled. So if you remove it from there, what happens is that the pot cools down slowly, water cools down, and rice also cools down. Whereas the fire is always hot, because the heat and light is very nature. So in the same way, if liberation or moksha, something which comes to us in the future, then it is not permanent. Therefore, we say that moksha or liberation is our very nature and not something which will come in the future. Then why don't we experience it? We don't experience it because of that is called avarana, or the ignorance. That avarana, and that is even though we are eternally free, we are freedom, we are free by nature, we are not able to experience it because of the ignorance which covers the Maya, which covers it. And that divine power who removes the cover is called Sadguru. So Sadguru means Gukarastu andhakarascha rukarastan nirodakaha andhakara nirodatvat guruhu iti abhidiyate. The Gu means ignorance, and Ru means one who removes the ignorance. So that is first of all, we have to understand the necessity of a living master. Many times I said that the most important topic for each one of us is the necessity of a living master. That is why Amma again, indirectly, she is trying to hint that she is the Sadguru, the only power, only divine power who can liberate us, and let us make the best use of her. When she is there with us, let us try to liberate ourselves. So that is the meaning. I'll tell you a story which I told long time back. A king wanted to find out whether his subjects were happy, and therefore one evening he dressed himself like a merchant. He took a lot of money and he quietly left the palace without informing anybody. Unfortunately, when it became dark, when it became night, a group of bandits slowly went behind him and they hit him on the head, and he fell down unconscious. They took away all his money and went away. Next morning, when the king got up, unfortunately, because of the hit he received on the back of his head, he had lost his memory. And when he started feeling hungry, he started begging for food. For yesterday, that person who was a king, today he became a beggar and he started begging for food. But after some time, the people noticed that this is a very unusual beggar. He looks very majestic, aristocratic. So this is not an ordinary beggar. Something happened to him, and they took this king to the ashram. And when the guru saw the king, immediately he understood that something has happened. So the guru made the king stay in the ashram. Unfortunately, the memory was, he still had lost his memory. He still could not remember he was the king. Slowly, the guru nurses him back to health. He gives him medicines, internal medicine, applied the medicine on the head also. Gradually, after a few weeks, the king got back his memory. When he got back his memory, suddenly he realized, oh, I am a king. So this is the best example you can use. We can say the beggar became the king. We cannot say the beggar became the king. The beggar was already a king, but because he lost his memory, he thought that he did not know, he did not remember that he was the king. Therefore, in the same way, we are all kings. We are all the Rajakumars, Rajakumaris. We are all sons and daughters of the Divine Mother. Our very nature, what is Amma's nature? That is also our very nature. But the difference between Amma, she has no Maya, she has no cover, whereas we have this cover. And this cover makes us think that we are the limited body and mind. That is the very important thing. Now we will see, because in the Upadesha Sara, Ramana Maharshi beautifully says, he says, Isha Jivayoha Vesha Dividaha Satsabhavatha Vastu Kevalam. He said that Isha and Jiva, they are different as far as their external equipment is concerned. So the ocean is the Isha or Ishvara is like the vast ocean, and we are like a drop of water, or we are like the piece of ice. So Isha Jivayohu Vesha Dibidaha. As far as their body is concerned, externally they seem to be different. Ishvara is very vast, and he is infinite, is all-knowing, all-powerful, whereas we are limited knowledge, limited strength, and one day we'll pass away. So it is only in the external equipment which we are different, whereas Sat Subhavata Vastu Kevalam, in essence, like the drop of water is also H2O. The drop of the small piece of ice is also water, H2O, and the vast ocean also is also H2O. We know this very well in chemistry. This is what we have to understand. So when you come to a total not stranger, a new person, the simple way to make him understand is this way. So there's a beautiful sloka. So we can ask him, let us see why when we see Amma, we run towards Amma without any break. That is because Amma, she is the very embodiment of infinite peace and joy, and that is every one of us. That is what every one of us want. So there is a very beautiful sloka. This also the ones I chanted long time back. This is written by Swami Jnanananda Saraswati of the Shangiri Madam. In his short text called Jivayatra, the first sloka, it says, Nityananda Sukham Suvimalam Praptam Samihayutaha Sarve Janmabrita Sada Vyatinanaha Tatsthana Sarmargane Evam Satyapi Sadhya Sadhana Yogam Samyagna Janandite Na Praptha Adunapi Sokyapadavim Swabhisha Rupam Yataha. This is the long, briefly I'll explain it. It means only Nityananda Sukham Suvimalam Praptam Samihayutaha Sarve Janmabrita Sada Vyatinanaha Tatsthana Sarmargane. What every living being, not only human being, what every living being want is Nityananda Sukham. We want infinite, permanent peace. You ask a person, what do you really want? We start the discussion this way. What you really want, or what I really want, or what every one of us want is permanent peace and permanent joy, permanent happiness, permanent peace, unbroken happiness, unbroken peace, Nityananda Sukham. But unfortunately, Evam Satyapi, even though this is what we want, it says, Sadhya Sadhana Yugam Samyak Na Janandite. Where can this permanent peace and joy be found? And which is the path which leads to the this permanent peace and joy, samyak na jananti te, they do not really know where we can find this infinite peace and joy. Then therefore, for that reason, na prapta aduna api sokya padavim swabhisha rupam itaha. For this reason, because where it can be found is not known, and the path to that goal also is not known really completely, none of us are able to reach this goal. So he continues to say, briefly I'll say because the time is short, the Acharya continues to say that in Kathopanishad, Valli Kataka Madhye, he says in short, Valli Kataka Madhye, in Kathopanishad is very clearly said that it can be seen it is vipaschit, its nature is pure consciousness, and it can be seen in our heart. It is first in our heart. So this, I remember when I say this, I remember during the Hyderabad Brahmasthana Pratishtha, when the Amma was inside the temple, the Pratishtha was about to take place. I was very fortunate to be inside the temple with Amma, and on the stage in the Yajnashala, on the stage the Vedic chanting was going on in Hyderabad, and I was listening to them, and I was watching Amma also. When Amma was about to keep the Pratishtha, the chanting was Brahmavida apnoti param tadesha bhukta satyam jnanam anandam brahma yo veda nihitam guhayam parame vyomhan so oshnute sarvan kamaan saha brahmana vipaschite te. This is the beautiful mantra from Taittiriya Upanishad. We have chanted. The simple meaning again I will give you. It means Brahmavid apnoti param, one who knows Brahman, like we said, the Brahmavid Brahmaiva Bhavati, Brahmavid Brahmaiva Bhavati. We said here it says Brahmavid apnoti param, one who knows Brahman, he gains the supreme. And where it is, what is its nature? Satyam Jnanam Anandam Brahma. It is reality, it is existence, Satyam, Jnanam of the form of knowledge, and it is infinite, Anantam. Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. I am sure this, when we were at home, in our childhood, once I heard our Swamiji, Amritageetananda chanting it. When we were small, when we attend bhajan groups, there we used to chant it. And so once I heard Swamiji chant it. I'm sure many of you know this part. Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. Satyam Brahma Jnanam Brahma Anantam Brahma. Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. After many years, I heard our Swamiji sing it. Immediately, but the childhood went back to my mind went back to my childhood, where I used to go, wherever there were bhajans, we used to go for the bhajans. This is the meaning. And yo veda nihitam guhayam parame vyoman. He who knows, understand that in the parame vyoma, in the supreme space, in his heart. Yo veda nihitam guhayam, in the hidden, it is hidden deep inside within us. Saha ashtute sarvan kaman saha brahmana vipaschiteti. Clearly we say, they point out the nature of Brahman. It is vipaschit, pure consciousness. It is deep within ourselves, and if we are able to know that, then we have accomplished our goal in life. We experience infinite happiness. That is the meaning. And again, I remember we will chant this. The Amma had given one more mantra, Ishavasimiddhagam Sarvam. That's also I remember. Ishavasimiddhagam Sarvam Yatkincha Jagatyam Jagat Tena Tektena Bhunjidaha Magrita Kasya Siddhanam. So the meaning is, everything is pervaded by Ishvara, everything is dwelt in by Ishvara. Whatever we see, and it says, with that knowledge, you renounce everything. All your small petty things you renounce and you enjoy. Tena tektena bunjidaha. So with this knowledge that the Ishvara, everything is everything, You renounce your personal likes and dislikes. And then what happens that ma grita kasya dhanam, do not desire for others' wealth. But we'll come back to my question. This question you just see, every one of us want absolute peace and joy. And have you noticed that if you look at ourselves, if you look at yourself, you see that I want we think that we get this much, we will be happy. No, I want more and more and more and more. Yeah, I remember this important verse, Vamana came and he asked Mahabali for 3 steps of land. 3 steps of land. And Mahabali was disappointed. He said, I am ready to give you a whole village, a whole city. You ask only 3 steps of land. What was the reply of Vamana? The little boy, he said, a person who's not satisfied with 3 steps of land will not be satisfied even if he gets the 3 worlds. That is the nature of the mind. The desire, I want more and more and more. If I get the big kingdom, then I want to conquer other kingdoms. This is the nature of everyone. So if we closely watch our mind, we can see, I want more and more and more and more and more. How much ever I get, still I am not satisfied. Therefore, I start thinking, why is it like that? I go to my Guru Amma, and I ask Amma, why is that even if I have got so much, still I still want more and more and more and more. A person is never satisfied. And then the Sadguru Amma tells us, my son, it is because I want everything. That is my attitude of every one of us. Our attitude, I want everything, because everything is your nature. Everything is my nature. That infinity is what he calls Brahma, and Brahmavid, Brahmaiva, Bhavati. That is the meaning. And we will continue this very important verse. And the Kathopanishad, we know the story of the 7-year-old Nachiketas. He goes to Yamaloka. We know the story very well. And he asked as a third boon, he asked Yamadeva. He asked Yamadeva, "Oh Yamadeva, tell me, there is a doubt among all human beings that some say that nothing exists after death, whereas there are others who say that something exists after death. What is the truth? I want to know this. After death, does everything ceases to exist, or does anything remain even after death? Please tell me this." So this is the real spiritual question. And the Yamadeva, he tried to test Nachiketas. He says, see, you're a small boy, 7-year-old. Even gods cannot understand the answer to the question. It is very complicated, very subtle. You're a small boy. Why do you want to know all this? You're only 7-year-old. I'll give you all these all these beautiful girls and the aeroplanes, etc. He said, I'll give you all he tried to distract. This is what Amma calls as Maya. When we go in the spiritual path, sometimes siddhis come to us and we get stuck there. So the Yamadeva tests Nachiketas. And Nachiketa, what is Nachiketa's reply? Reply is very, very practical to all of us. Nachiketa says, let us hear what Nachiketas, the little boy, has to say. Let us hear. Let us see.
Shubhava martasya yatanti ketate sarvendriyanam jarayandi tejaha api sarvam jivitam alpameva tvameva vaha Amritageetananda.
You see, the little 7-year boy, Nachiketas, he says, we heard him saying, Shobhava martyasya yadantike tat sarvendriyanam jarayanti tejaha api sarvam jividam alpameva tavaiva vaha tavanirtagite. He says, O Yamadeva, Shobhava martyasya yadantike tat means What is the human nature? Like Amma said, Adutha Makale, Adutha Shwasam Namada Kairalla. We do not know whether the next breath is in our hands. Shobhava, we do not know whether we will be alive tomorrow. Shobhava, Martha is a very, very temporary nature is the human life. Shobhava Martyasya Yadantika Itate. And what is the problem? When we go with Sarva Indriyanam Jarayanti Tejaha, the eyes, these are the Indriyana, the eyes, the ears, the nose, taste, and touch. This Indriyana, we go on enjoying and enjoying. These youngsters, they say, I want the full freedom to enjoy whatever I like. That is delusion. If you go on, if you say, I want the freedom to enjoy whatever I like, it's a contradiction. If you go on enjoying and enjoy, you become an addict. And where is the freedom? So the freedom to enjoy whatever I like is contradiction. You go on enjoying something, you become an addict and you lose the freedom. Therefore, the sense organs become gradually as we become older and older and older. The sense organs become weak, but they say the sense organs become weak, but the body becomes old. The desire remains young. Desire there is remain. Then finally, when we have no teeth, then we cannot chew the chicken. You can just an example I'm giving you. All those all those eat. There are many eatables. If the old man cannot eat, he just wants something very soft. So sarvendriyanam jarayanti tejaha api sarvam jividam alpameva. Even the longest life is indeed short. Tavaiva vaha tava nrityagite. So Yamadeva, you keep your vaha means vehicles, like all this is the Ravana had the Pushpaka Vimana, like that. The Yama said, I will give you this some plane, the aeroplane, like a spacecraft, like Pushpaka Vimana. So the Nachiketa says, Tavaiva vaha, please keep your vaha, your aeroplane, your Pushpaka Vimana, and Tava Nritya Gite, your music and dance, you please keep to yourself. So this is not, it's not insulting. The Yamadeva is the Guru. Unlike in the song we have, Amme Bhagavati Kali Mate, Ninde Nyani no Pidichitum Tindum. In that we says, Kali Tannamum Jabichikunde, Kalende Nere Nyan Goštikatum. Singing the name of Kali, I will make fun of the Kala Yamadeva. There it is, I am with Kali. Here it is not like that. He is not the insulting or belittling Yamadeva, because Yamadeva is the Guru. So he is belittling the sense objects. In the Kathopanishad commentary, Shankaracharya, he begins with he has so much of reverence to the Guru and the disciple. He begins with commentary with, he calls Yamadeva Bhagavan. Om Namo Bhagavate Vaivasataya Mamrityave Brahmavidyacharya Nachiketase cha. Om Namo Bhagavate Vaivasataya Mrityave Brahmavidyacharya Nachiketase cha. You see, so Om Namo Bhagavate, Bhagavan. Vaivasata means Vivasvan is sun, and Vaivasata is the son of Surya Bhagavan. The Yamadeva is the son of Surya. He is called Vaivasata. Om Namo Bhagavate Vaivasataya Mrityave, Mritudeva, and Brahmavidyacharya. And then Shankaracharya salutes the disciple. I offer my salutation, prostrations to the Guru, to Acharya Yamadeva, son of Surya, and I offer my salutations to Nachiketas also. That is what we have to understand here. And something very interesting, I noted that when we are explaining this verse, when we say the Brahmavid Brahmaiva Bhavati, we have right in front of us. I am little hesitant to speak in front of Amma, because I am I have only book knowledge, maybe little the experience of my special experiences. So I have done a lot of sadhana and all what is happening in the mind, etc. that we have. Whereas this is the Hamma, she is the Brahmajnani. We are, we are speaking in front of a Brahmajnani, one who has the experience of truth, and we have only book knowledge. So I am hesitating, a little scared, a little nervous to speak in front of Amma. So here also we can see that. So if you look at Amma Darshan, this also I explained long time back, briefly I explained that in Mysore long time back, an Ayurveda doctor, he observed Amma, the Amma's Darshan continuously lifting the right hand. He said, this is something which a human being cannot do. Because if a person goes on lifting the right hand, the hand will fall from the socket. It will be dislocation. So then when I told this to Swamiji, we were on the eve of Amma's birthday, we were sitting in Swamiji's room and we were watching the TV, Amma Darshan. I told Swamiji about this, the Dr. Muhammad Qasim, the Ayurveda doctor, saying that this is something which a ordinary human being cannot do. You cannot go on lifting the right hand like that. 11,000 devotees she gave darshan. 45,000 devotees she had given darshan. Sitting for 12 hours, 24 hours. And Swamiji said, no, it is not. The strain is not only for the hand; it is for the back also. If you notice, when she is hugging, she has to come forward also. So strain is for not only the hand, for the back also. So if you can see this, when they ask Amma, how are you able to do it? First she said, when there is love, there's no tiredness, there's no weakness. Love is the inspiration which I give on. And secondly, she says about the camera that I gave many times. When the camera being operated on a battery, you can work for maybe 3 or 4 hours, whereas the camera is connected to the mains, you can operate for any length of time. And Amma said, I am connected to the mains. He is indicating that I am connected to the infinite being. And therefore, the infinite being is inside us. And Amma tells this is the Mahatvam of the Guru. This is the greatest of the Guru. The Guru never says that I am great and you are small. The Guru says, each one of you, this is when I go to college for the first year's inauguration, I make them understand this. If you get a mantra from Amma, what happens to you is there is infinite power within you. And the Guru mantra makes you manifest that infinite power. That is why, that is the need of the Guru mantra. And therefore, the Brahmavid, Brahmaiva Bhavati, it does not mean that it will come to in the future. It is, what do you call it? It is already there within us, but it is hidden. The Shankaracharya in Atmabodha, Shankaracharya beautifully says that Soyam prakashate hi atma megha paye amshiman iva. That is Soyam prakashate. It is Soyam prakasha. We need not it is self-luminous, always luminous. Soyam prakashate hi atma megha paye amshiman iva. Just like the clouds are covering the sun. When the clouds move, then we can see the sun. In the same way, when this clouds of ignorance, when this cloud of ignorance moves, the Guru will remove. That's Guru. When she Guru remove that ignorance, it manifests, and we say, Veda hametam purusham mahantam aditya varnam tamasa parastat. We also roar with joy. I know that Veda hametam purusham mahantam, that ancient Purusha who lives in every being, I know that aditya varnam, it is of the power of the luminous sun. That is what he says. So I think when you explained this to the newcomers, we should certainly explain about how it's the Amma's darshan. What Amma is doing is something which a human being cannot do. Not only lifting the right hand, she has to listen to. She had to turn to the left. She had to turn to the right and listen to the heads of institutions. So much of the burden is there on her. She is the head of institutions. See, when a dean is becomes so tense, Amma, I am so tense because of so many pressure. But Amma never complains of pressure. She listens to the left, she turns the left, she turns the right, and listen to all her problems, and then they go. And then 10,000 devotees come and relate their problems. No psychiatrist can do this. And so much physical strain and so much with mental strain, and even when so much we can see that if you take the first token, the Mone, she will say, my dear son, my dear son, my beloved daughter. She sent to the first token number 1, and to the last token, 10,000, the token, she with the same enthusiasm, she will say, my beloved son, my beloved daughter. So it's not mechanical, because it's so much, it is infinite power. So you can see that. And again, I remember I was really shocked. It was almost I think the 4 o'clock in the morning, it was 4 o'clock in the morning, darshan was going on. One family came back and came and said, Amma, we have to catch the 8 o'clock flight. Please bless us. So one by one, they came in front of her. She started offering sweet, the sweet in their mouth. So the one, two, three, there are eight of them. And when the fifth or sixth one came, she took the sweet up to his mouth and said, diabetic. Then she put and she said, for you this much, she has put just a pinch. So she remembers so much of strain, and then she remembers this person is diabetic also. So that is a real Mahatma. And again, we can speak about all of us have experience of her Sarvachyatum, her the all-knowing nature. I'll give you just one example. Many years back, when I went to Mumbai, after the program, we went for the house where I was staying, and their neighbor had come. His name was Ramachandran. So he told me that he had stroke, and Amma just by merely massaging his body, she cured him. He was able to walk, but then he said, Swamiji has slight memory power. When I am not able to complete this Sahasranama Archana, when I read, so sometimes my mind goes blank. So I'm not able to pray. I said, don't worry. Certainly it will come back. So do one thing. I asked the host, they had the bookstore also in their house. So I asked the host to get a photo of Amma where she is looking directly at you. A photo in which she's looking directly at you. You can also practice that. And if you talk, when you talk to that photo, look at that photo and imagine that you breathe in slowly, and imagine that through Amma, you imagine that infinite peace and joy is entering you. And when you breathe out, when you breathe out, imagine that all your obstacles and all your worries and troubles are going out. Breathe in peace and joy, breathe out worries and problems. And then when you breathe in, also imagine that from Amma's eyes, infinite power is entering your eyes. Amma has also told us, you can just practice this way. From Amma's, for the photo of Amma's eyes, it is entering your eyes and directly into your eyes. You can imagine. I told Mr. Ramchandran, and I gave him the photo. After 1 month, so he started. After one month, I received a postcard that it was 20 years back. Postcard saying, Swamiji, now I am able to concentrate very well, and now I have got a job. So this one youngster from our Ettimadi college, Krishna Kumar, he had come, and he told Swamiji, I am not able to concentrate. So I told him this experience. They say when you look at a photo and you talk, you have concentration. When you are chanting, it becomes mechanical. Whereas when you look at a photo when you're talking, there is concentration. So Amma, I told him this experience of Mr. Ramchandran. Krishna Kumar, you also practice this. Take a photo of Amma, keep in front of you, look at the photo, imagine. When you breathe in, imagine that Amma's divine energy is entering you, and the peace and joy. And when you breathe out, imagine that you are breathing out all problems and anxiety, worries, etc. And then he went back. Thank you, Swami. And he went back. After 2 months, he came, and when he went for darshan, he told Amma, Amma, this is what I do. I sit in front of your photo, and then whatever problems I talk to you. I talk to the photo. Whatever problem, I sit in front of your photo, and then I imagine that you are sitting in front of me, and I go on talking. I talk to you, and I feel all my burden. They have taken all my burden. So can I continue this? Amma smiled and said, yes, you can continue. And next time when you come, you bring your diary. He was shocked because he was writing also. Whatever he was narrating, telling Amma, he used to write down also. And Amma told him, next time you bring your diary. He was really shocked. He came running to my room. I was crying and said, Amma, Samjam, this is what Amma said. So this is the first one example of Amma's all-knowing nature. And one more example I'll tell, and then I will stop. This I told a long time back. This is the example of the how Amma knows everything. I think I related this from some time, but it's a very relevant point here. So I will narrate once more how many years back, one of the Brahmacharinis team, they had come here to Bangalore to teach Amtech meditation, and when they came to see me here, that main Brahmacharini, she was heading the team. She told when we were talking, she told me, Swamiji, the Amma asked me to take PhD. Amma asked me to take PhD, and I asked her, what is the topic? And when she mentioned the topic, I was shocked. She said, Swamiji, Amma told me to do research on the word bhavana. I was really shocked. I was staring at her. Do research on the word bhavana. If you remember, I told one of our brahmacharis, with Amritageetananda, he explained beautifully. He explained about bhavana. If you remember, 1 month back, brahmachari with Amritageetananda beautifully explained about bhavana. But one more point I will narrate. That point is bhavana. It is bhavana. It is just to make you understand that we have to I'll give you 2 verses from the Rabana Maharshi's Upadeshasaram. The verses are it is speaking about Advaita. He also speaks about Advaita. He says, Veda Bhavanat Sohamityasau Bhavana Bhida Pavani Mata. He says, Veda Bhavanat Soham Ityasau Bhavana Bidat Pavani Mata. This is better than or superior than the bhava of I am separate. I am here and God is separate. That is called Bheda Bhavana. Better than superior to Bheda Bhavana is Soham Ityasau Bhavana Abhida Bhavana. The attitude that I am he is the superior to the Bheda Bhavana. I hope you understand. The thing is, but most of us, the temple worshippers, they see God as different from them. So that's called Bheda Bhavana. Bheda means I am different from God. Ramana Maharshi says, but in the final stage, Bheda Bhavana, better than Bheda Bhavana, Soham, I am he. Bhavana Abhida Bhavana. The Abhida Bhavana means we are God and I am God are one. Pavani Mata, he said, that is Pavani, that is we are really pure. So we can see in Amma's case, you can see they become fearless. They say, Yatova cho nivartante aprapya manasa saha anandam brahmano vidya nabibetik kutaschaniti, they say. So first I'll explain one more verse and then you say how we reach that. He said, the Bhava Shunya Sadbhava Stutihi Bhavana Balat Bhakti Ruttama. You see the Bhava Shunya Sadbhava Stutihi. So you say, you get established in the Sadbhava. You get established, you merge into the Sadbhava, the real Bhava, the Bhava of Supreme Being. How is that? That is Bhava Shunya. Bhava Shunya means Chintakal Kandyam Manden. We can remember that song. Chintakal Kandyam Vannen Antarangatil Pundum Sandatanandathinte Chandamam Prakashame. Say the Chintakal Kandyam Vannen. When all thoughts become still, that's called Bhava Shunya. All thoughts become still. In Ammas, it is not that usually when all thoughts become still, we fall asleep. But in Amma's presence, in meditation, all thoughts subside. Bhava Shunya. Chindakal Kandyam Vandan, all thoughts are ended, but the pure consciousness always remain. That is Sadbhava. And how do we reach that? How do we reach that Sadbhava? The state of pure, the state of thoughtlessness. All thoughts are gone and only pure consciousness remains in the presence of the Guru. Only the Guru can give that for us. So Bhavana Bhalat, by the force of Bhavana, I'm going to go on thinking of that, I am that. This is possible only in the presence of a Sadguru like Amma. Only Sadguru can give it to us. The Bhavana Bhalat, there is a lot of limitation for the self-effort. Bhavana Bhalat, when the mind becomes pure, that there we do have to. It is there the worship can help us. When we do a lot of chanting, archana, japa, mantra, etc., the thoughts become less and less and less, and then we are able to lift ourselves into that thoughtless state. So the bhavana bhalat, I want to know that I am the Supreme Being, and that Chaitanyam, that's called bhavana bhalat, by the force of bhavana, by constantly the thinking of that state. The bhavana bhalat, that is bhakti ruttama. The ideal bhakti is stilling all thoughts and getting established in that sadbhava, which is the thoughtless state. And therefore, we have to understand the necessity of a living master. In the presence of the living master, slowly we can purify our mind. We can slowly, the number of thoughts reduce, becomes completely concentrated on Amma. Whatever I do, it is for Amma, and therefore Amma is always at the back of in every thought, and the thoughts become less and less and less and less. So in deep meditation, we become totally silent, and then like when we go into sleep, we lie down quietly, and Nidra Devata, the sleep, will come and take us into sleep. In the same way, when our thoughts become totally silent, the Guru, the inner Guru, she will come and lift us to that supreme state. That is called Sadbhava. Bhavana Balat, the Bhava Shunya, Sadbhava Stutihi. Stuti means get established, be firmly established in that Sadbhava, which is the thoughtless state. And that is that is what we get from this Sadguru like Amma. In the Bhagavad Gita also, I'll say just one more thing. Briefly, I will talk and then I will conclude. There are 4 types of bhakta. They say, Bhagavan Krishna says in chapter 7, verse 16, Bhagavan Krishna says there are 4 types of bhaktas. We have heard this many times. Chaturvidam bhajante maam jana sukruto jana arto jijnasur arthati jnanicha varadashaba. O Bharatashaba, O Arjuna, there are 4 types of devotees: Artha, Artharthi, Jijnasu, Jnani. So Artha is one who prays only when he is in trouble. He is a devotee. Artha is one who prays to God only when he is in trouble. He will go to run to God. When the students, when the exams are near, they'll come to Amma and then say, Swami, please bless my child. Anyway, there are also devotees. So then we come to Artharthi. Artharthi is, he always prays, but he always prays for, I want this, I want that, I want this, I want that. He is constantly prays, but all his prayers are, I want this, I want that, I want this, I want that. So that's little superior, constantly prays. Then what happens? Even I have got so much, still I am not happy. So what can give me real happiness? These material things around me cannot give me real happiness. What can give me real happiness? I want to know that. That becomes jijnasu. I want to know God. Only God can give me happiness. I come to the Guru, and then for the Guru, by the Guru's grace, I become a jnani, he knower of God. And he, I make it short now, I have spoken too much, taken too much of your time. They says, Bahunam, the Shri Krishna says, Udara sarva evaite jnani tu atmaiva matham. All four bhaktas are great. Artha is great, Artharthi is great, Jijnasu is great, but Jnani is the best among them. Udara sarva, all four bhaktas are great. Jnani tu atmaiva matham. But I think the Jnani is the best among them all because he has become one with myself. He is dear to me and I am dear to him. That's what Bhagavan says. And he says, Bahunam janamanam ante jnanavan mam prabadhyate Vasudeva sarvamiti samahatma sudurlabha. They say, after many, many births, Bahunam janamanam ante, after many, many births, jnanavan mam prabadhyate. Arjuna, after many, many human births, the jnani surrenders to me. And what is his attitude? Vasudeva sarvamiti. Everything is Vasudeva. Vasudeva sarvamiti samhatma sudurlabha. Such a person is very, very rare. So to get Atmajnanam is very, very rare. So the conclusion is that we can say Brahmavid, Brahmaiva, Bhavati. It is, I want more and more and more because that is infinite. Infinity is my nature, and that infinite nature we can get only by the grace of a Sadguru like Amma. So we are very, very lucky to be in Amma's presence. Very, very lucky to be Amma's children and Amma's devotees. Let us pray to Amma to take us to our goal in life, and also let us let Amma give us the knowledge to make the others also understand that everyone's nature is infinity. Everyone by nature, every one of us is Sat Chit Ananda, the pure existence, pure consciousness, and pure bliss. I surrender these words to the lotus feet of Amma. Om Amritageetananda.
Asato ma sadgamaya, tamaso ma jyotirgamaya, mrityorma amritangamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Lokaha Samastaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Lokaha Samastaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Lokaha Samastaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hare